Hi, welcome to the Magnetic Mismatch show. My name is Linda.
And this is Will, and I'm heated.
You're heated. I'm going stir crazy.
Oh my gosh, man. This situation with the coronavirus is insane.
Yeah, I feel like I've never spent so much time with you.
God, you're so blessed.
It's wow.
Hey.
See what I have to deal with?
I wonder how many other couples or married couples or people in relationships are dealing with the same thing right now. Now you have to spend time with each other.
Yeah. Like for the past
24/7.
Let me see what day is this? I don't even know what day
it's been
it is.
a week?
Okay, so right now, today it's Wednesday.
Wait, it hasn't been a week.
It's been 10 days.
No. But no, that's when you got on your vacation. But the official LA quarantine
started Monday.
Yeah, so it's only been like 2 days.
But knowing how things were going last week, we didn't go out either. We took
some precaution, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we only did like a supply run and all that, but nothing too crazy. You're right.
No.
We avoided social functions and events.
Yeah. I actually had my hair appointment today. So sorry if, my hair is not up to standards.
Talking about that, like look at mine. I'm like starting to look crazy. I'm looking like a crazy guy.
Yeah.
Haven't had a haircut in over a month. So, and I usually get mine every 3 weeks or so.
Yeah. It's funny because I sat and I debated whether if I should get a haircut today or not.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny, as I was scrolling through my Facebook feed, suddenly there was an article, I think it was by Refinery 2029. Is it safe to get a haircut?
Oh, yeah. It's so funny how many questions we're probably asking. Is it safe to do this? Is it safe to go to the gym? Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, they're closed now, but that's what I was Googling before.
Yeah.
You're like thinking about all these random things.
Yeah. But I just want to, play my part, right?
Sure.
Just stay home.
Stop the spread.
Flatten the curve.
Oh, is that the term that they're using? Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, the reason I was heated wasn't only because of coronavirus, but we were talking a little bit before we started recording about today's topic.
What is today's topic, Will?
Today's topic is how to survive your first year of marriage. And we were, just kind of outlining some of the things that we want to talk about today. And we were getting into stories like our pet peeves and, disagreements. And definitely I was getting a little riled up. You were too.
Yeah.
Don't look at me like that.
It's true. It's true.
So we're going to get into that juicy part in a little bit. But I think it's important to give people maybe a little bit of a backstory, about our relationship and, how we ended up tying the knot and signing our life away.
You should tell the story, Will, since you don't even remember our anniversary.
What do you mean? 10/10/9? Is it? Is that a date that we made up?
Yeah.
Because we both forgot. Like when? I mean, it depends on when you're. And this isn't the anniversary date for our marriage. I remember that, of course.
Well, yeah, I hope so.
But we're talking about when we went on our first date.
No, when we made it official, right?
Oh yeah, actually, that's what. Yeah.
So for the longest time, we were telling people 10, 10, 10 until one day we're like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. We're off by a year.
Right. It was just because it was so easy to remember. So then we decided, all right, well, 10/10/9.
Yeah.
2009.
Yeah.
Damn, it's crazy. It's been over a decade together now.
I know.
That is insane.
I'm surprised we haven't killed each other.
I mean, maybe
Since
there were multiple attempts.
Yeah, probably. Probably.
Yeah, so what happened when we were first starting to date? How did we end up here today?
Well, my side of the story.
Oh. Gotta crack my knuckles, get ready.
I'm such an independent woman. I didn't want to move in.
That she is, folks. That she is, to the extreme.
I didn't want to move in with you before marriage, even though you were pro living together. It's not that I had anything against living with you prior to marriage. I just wanted to savor some of that freedom.
Okay. I was just contemplating what you just said. I mean, I hear you. I'm the same way. I think we both value our independence a lot. That's probably the most important thing for us is independence and freedom.
Yeah.
But definitely, I always had it in my head when I was dating and getting serious with somebody that I would prefer to live with them first so I can see all the bad habits, the things that, people are
What are you
hiding.
talking about? I'm perfect.
Oh, so of course. What am I talking about?
What are you talking about?
What bad habits, right? What pet peeves? What could possibly annoy me? I think it's funny when people, especially early in the relationship, or people that maybe don't have as much experience like dating, that's what they think. It's like, oh, what could we not get along with? We get along so well. It's roses and butterflies, and rainbows and unicorns. It's gonna be perfect. I don't know how we're gonna be able to, how we'll ever argue with each other, right? You've heard people say that. Come on.
Yeah.
But or they'll post, like how happy they are and this and that on social media. Then it's like, oh,
Hashtag couple goals.
yeah. And it's like, dude, that's not reality.
No.
The reality is there will be arguments, there will be disagreements, there will be tension, there will be pet peeves, things that you do to annoy me.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Because if you think about it, a relationship is two people with complete different personalities, or with similarities. Yeah. I mean, everybody has a unique story, and no two people,
they're not exactly the same. Sure. So even if you have commonalities.
Yeah. So you're gonna have to figure out the differences, right?
Mm-hmm. And work on compromise, work on how to get along, all that stuff. I mean, that's part of the reason we named this podcast Magnetic Mismatch, because we felt like when we first started dating, we were two very different people.
Very different. Will was the party animal. It
wasn't that bad.
I'm just kidding.
I would the social butterfly.
And
Can we put it that way?
Studious one.
Oh, please. Okay. That's true. You actually did a lot better in school, and you were very studious. You worked also during school. So
there was enough time to play.
Yeah. Right. I think you were definitely more responsible at that age than I was.
Yeah.
Even though
But that's because we were young. We started dating in our early 20s.
Straight out of undergrad.
Straight out of undergrad. Mm-hmm. So it took some time to mature.
I think that's pretty normal for people. Normal.
But for the most part, we were always responsible people.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. We grew up with really good values, and we can we can attribute that to our parents. Yeah. We're very, very fortunate to have great parents, both of us. And we came from a good family with that, we had good values. So it helped us a lot. Our values
aligned, so that helped.
I think that was the thing that helped us stay connected, and that was the similarities, even though personality-wise at that time was very different.
Yeah, because Will's like a little social butterfly.
I wasn't always that way though, but that's another topic.
Yeah, and I was really shy when we first met.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's changed.
Yes, definitely. And I think you were a little bit. I don't know. I mean, it felt like you were a little bit colder back then. Mm-hmm. Like you didn't emote as much as you do now. Mm-hmm. Now you don't care. Like you have no problem showing someone affection or people that you care about them, in more of you had your own way of showing that. And it was very small group of people that you would do that for.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, getting back to the dating. So we were dating for a little while before we got married.
Mm-hmm. Why did it take you so long?
That's a loaded question, my friend. I just wanted to make sure everything was perfect and, and that it was the right moment, the right time.
So I'm not perfect?
I'm saying the perfect time.
Oh, okay.
Happy wife, happy life. I've gotten really good, by the way, since being married of saying, yes, dear.
Yes, dear.
No, but we were dating for quite a while, and I don't think either of us were in a rush to get married, though.
No, we were not.
Why was that?
I think
for you.
For me, I think I wanted that time to be able to grow as a person before I married you.
Yeah.
I wanted to know that I was able to take care of myself. And, having you, it's like a bonus, a perk, it's good.
I like that. That's a good compliment.
But I feel like I needed to prove to myself that all I need is myself.
Sure. That you're self-sufficient,
Yeah.
independent.
Yeah, that I'm happy with just myself, that I can support myself, I can take care of myself. So everything else in addition to it is just a bonus.
Sure. I think that's so important. And not a lot of people think about it from that perspective. Sometimes, people get into a relationship and you become so dependent on the other person that when that person is not there for whatever reason, then you kind of lose your mind. You don't know what to do.
Yeah, because I wanted to build my own network of happiness outside of just us, right? Our relationship.
Sure, absolutely.
So that was very important to me, and I think it took a while for me to achieve that, but once I did, and now I'm so glad I did that.
I think the big thing now looking back in terms of why we've been able to have a pretty damn good relationship, for us.
Yeah,
right?
for
we
us.
both enjoy being in the relationship is because we both spent time prior to dating and even during the dating period, we still focused on self-love and working on ourselves, as well as, like you said, proving to yourself that you can be fine without somebody else there, but it's nice to have that other person. You're not going to die, right? And your life doesn't stop, at that point.
Yeah, and I think it's important now, even after a year of marriage, is I still give you alone time with the guys for you to continue
Boys time,
boys time, and relationships outside of the marriage, because I want you to still continue to strengthen those relationships, right?
That's super important. You still have to have your life outside of just the relationship. It gives people space that, we all need.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So that's good. And then what happened was when we were dating for almost 9 years before we got married. Yes. That's about right. Yes. Yeah.
That's about right.
Yeah. So around that time. And one of the hard things was, even though I wanted to live with you, prior to getting married, you made the decision that was not your preference. But I was able to bend my own rule a little bit because we got a chance to travel a lot together. And so we spent a lot of time, on vacation, even though you're in a better mood and all that stuff. It's not like the real routine, but it was nice to see some glimpses of what's she like when she's not on the date with me, when she's got her best foot, forward on the date, because everybody is on their best behavior, on dates.
Yeah.
When you're still getting to know each other. So we had that, and then you were living at home for a little while by choice. After undergrad, right? You were saving money and
yeah. I mean, it's because grad school was so expensive. I made the choice of living at home, and I'm so thankful to my parents.
Nice.
They're so nice and so easygoing, and they always give me personal space, never distracted me. They freely let me go in and out of the house. It just felt like living with roommates.
Yeah, and they would never trip out or lecture you for staying out late or anything like that.
No. So I stayed at home to save money just because tuition was so expensive.
Yeah.
And the cost of going to grad school was so expensive that if I could just save on rent itself and food.
And because your mom and your dad are
they're
both
amazing cooks.
Yeah, so you had home cooked meals basically every day, every meal.
Yeah.
And you got to live there for free.
Yeah.
I mean, you helped with bills and stuff like that.
I mean, I picked up some of their bills to offset some of the cost of me living at home.
But it was nice that they offered to provide that for you, and not all parents are in a position to do that or are in some cases willing to do that because they want you to get out. Yeah.
I mean, the room would have just been empty.
Yeah, it was an extra room. It wasn't like imposing on them or anything.
No, if we were sharing rooms, and I had other siblings to share rooms with,
Mhm.
then yeah, of course, I would move out when the time is right to free up some
When
space so
things
it's not
got, yeah.
clustered. But the fact that it was just an extra room, it didn't hurt by
Yeah.
having me there. It actually helped because there was someone there to kind of watch out
Sure.
over them too.
Yeah. I
Because
think
they're
that was the
older
other
now.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was living with my parents for maybe like 2 or 3 years before I moved out to my own apartment because I was just getting my business started. And same idea, just why not,
Yeah.
right? There's so many benefits to that, but I knew I didn't want to stay living at home forever.
Of course not.
I wanted to have my own space, especially as we got serious and more serious in the relationship, and so got my first apartment. And that was cool because then, that could open up more time and we have our own place to hang out because prior to that, when we didn't, it was hard with the dates.
Yeah. We just go to dinner, sit there for a couple hours in the restaurant, and then
No, like we would go dessert and stuff.
yeah.
Too, but
I mean, but it's always at a restaurant, a
It's at a venue,
cafe, something, and then that's it. The day ends there.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was nice to have an apartment to go back, or if we didn't want to go out, we could just stay in, cook a meal.
Yeah. That's where I learned how to cook. Too.
Yeah, definitely. You honed your skills more.
Yeah. Because back then, when I was home, my parents did all the cooking. So there was no need to learn how to cook. But then
slowly, you developed it.
Yeah. But then slowly, as a couple years went by and I was sick of dining out, it gave us an option of eating at home. And plus, it helped us become healthier eaters as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was a period where we got a chance to enjoy that time. Even though you didn't officially move in with me, you were there pretty often.
Just on the weekends.
Yeah, on the weekend. You would stay from like Friday to Sunday.
Yeah.
So that was nice. I mean, I didn't see you during the weekdays, but when you did come over, it made me appreciate our time a lot more because of that. So I got to see, you got to probably see more of my habits. Although I would clean up the place and make sure everything was spick and span before you came over. I would always clean before you would come over. Maybe not to the same standards that you have at that time. But, for me, that was like, I put in effort at least.
Okay.
Because I didn't want you to come over and feel like, man, this place is like,
I don't know. My side of the story, sometimes I would come over and you had a pile of dishes.
Yeah, that was just how I operated, dude. But like everything else, I don't think it was that bad. To me.
No, it's not bad, but that was annoying though.
Well, this is how it spills over to our first year then. So let's transition to when we actually got married and now we get to live with each other full time.
Okay, yeah.
So dishes.
So my pet peeve is just dirty dishes in the sink. It's like, wash those dishes. They smell and they get like crusty and they look disgusting. Just wash it after dinner. It's nice and clean. Wipe down the counters with the Clorox and that's it. It feels so much better.
Yeah, I had a bad habit of leaving dishes in the sink because I wouldn't use that many dishes.
Or on your desk.
Or on my desk.
Or right the side of your bed.
Using my computer, playing games or whatever. Or if I'm eating in bed. And this is kind of nasty now that I think about it. But hey, stop putting me on blast, yeah? We're not all perfect.
No, we're not.
But anyways, I was saying, from my side of the story, was whether it was... clean or not, in my mind, it was just something you get so used to doing, especially living alone. That was what I was doing. And I didn't even realize how bad of a habit it was, right? Because now it's like not even a question, right? I would do dishes immediately after we finish our meals, get it done, and you feel so much better. But before I wouldn't have anybody point that out to me. And, being a single dude, it was just easier for me to just like, oh, I'll put the dishes here and then go do my other things, right? And then before you know it, the dishes would pile up. But I think the miscommunication. So when we lived together, that's what I was doing. I had dishes pile up and you were like pissed or more like shocked at first. And you didn't say anything for a little bit until I think you got fed up with it, right?
Yeah. Because keep in mind, I'm very clean. So I felt like I was just the only one just always cleaning the floors, cleaning the counters, going around picking up your dishes and washing them. And I was just getting frustrated.
You were doing it and you wouldn't say anything.
No, I didn't because I don't know. I just, because, I'm so used to just always picking up after myself that I kind of just picked up that I just kind of brought it in when we got married, and I was constantly feeling like I was cleaning, and especially it didn't help at that time. I was working so much and, it took a lot of energy out of me, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Exactly. But that's the thing, right? Like for me, I didn't know anything was wrong. I just lived my life like I normally lived, right? But that was my bad because I didn't consider you, right?
Yeah.
Even though we are married now, right? And my habits kind of spilled over. But then I think where I got frustrated was because you were doing this, you didn't say anything, and obviously you were upset and you were brewing and pissed about it, right? But you didn't say anything. You didn't tell me. And then you blew up one day. Like, were you freaking like, let me have it? Do you remember that or no?
Yeah,
I remember it very
probably
vividly.
holding a broom or something, chasing you around the house. Just kidding.
It didn't get to that stage, but
I'm just kidding.
You were just like yelling, like,
Yeah.
and I never see you yell. You never yell.
No, I'm usually very calm.
Yeah, but I think for you, when you do get upset, you let it all out, which is good. But then I was there confused because I'm like just eating like I normally do, and then like all of a sudden, like you started like bringing something up that happened over the first couple of months of being married and living together, and then I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, why am I getting yelled at right now? I'm just trying to enjoy my dinner.
Okay, Tubbles.
That's when we had a discussion, because then we were like, okay, well, I didn't know you felt that way. How come you didn't bring me up? And that's when I think it helped us realize how important it is to vent or at least express, right? Like what you're frustrated about. Because I'm not a mind reader. You're not a mind reader. If something's bugging you, you got to speak up and let the other person know, even if it's uncomfortable or not something you want to hear, or you might feel like, oh, you're hurting my feelings. Dude, I want to know.
Yeah.
Like if I'm messing up or if I'm doing something that's bugging you, I want to at least be aware of what I'm doing. And wouldn't you agree that after that gentle conversation, that things have changed?
Yeah, things has gotten better. But I guess what was going through my head at that time was, you seeing me clean and doing your dishes. There's always clean dishes for a reason, right? Someone's got to be doing them. If you're not doing them,
It didn't click, dude.
yeah, your partner is probably going
I'm
around,
dumb.
yeah, cleaning it. So I think, after that discussion, it also helped you to become a little bit more mindful.
Absolutely. More mindful, more thoughtful, more considerate. Not that I wasn't before. I think there's just certain things, because in my head, like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just me, like,
because you were used to living by yourself for so long.
A single dude.
You didn't have to think about, considering somebody else.
And I don't think I've told you this, but I think in my head, I thought, oh, what an amazing wife. She loves to do housework. She loves cleaning up after me. She loves doing dishes, and what an amazing woman. She's a professional, works her butt off, and then she comes home and she also cleans. Like, damn, I hit the jackpot on this,
You're dreaming, right?
No, that's what I was thinking. Like, I was like, oh, she enjoys it. Like, why take away her joy of doing dishes and laundry when, like, who am I to take that away from her, that joy?
Wow.
Even though she's tired as hell from a long day at work. And then I'm sitting there on the couch or on my computer desk playing video games or watching movies or something, because I had a long day working with clients.
You should be careful what you're saying. You might get crucified.
All the women out there are like, Linda, get him, man.
Get him.
Like,
Don't worry.
But that was one of the things. I mean, something as simple as that, right? Like doing the dishes. And you're super clean. I think this is insane. But like when you were living with your parents, you told me how, I think you got this from your mom, right? Like how
Yeah.
clean, like your parents are super clean. Their house is like impeccable, right?
Mhm.
And your mom would, make sure the toilet is clean, what, like a couple of times a day or something like that?
No, she cleans the bathroom once a day.
Once a day.
Full
Okay.
scrub down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my dad cleans the oven, the stove range.
Yeah.
Like every day he scrubs it down with soap. So my parents are super clean. So when Will didn't meet those standards, it bothered me a lot. And I couldn't keep up doing it myself. I was getting exhausted from trying to, live this lifestyle that in my head I had to live up to my parents' standards.
Right.
But I've learned to let things go a little bit, right? If the stove range is a little dirty and I'm tired,
it's not the end of the world.
let that be it, right? If the bathroom is not cleaned every day and I can clean it every like 3-4 days,
Sure.
so let that be it.
Yeah.
I think I've learned to let things go a little bit.
Sure, absolutely.
And not be such a
freak.
clean freak.
A freak, dude. Like,
Yeah.
it's just letting go of some control too,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
You're not laughing now. I have Clorox wipes. It's the new currency.
It
that
is.
and toilet paper.
Toilet paper. We've got enough. I wouldn't say we have like how some
Yeah,
of the
don't try go robbing us for toilet papers. You'll be disappointed with our 10 rolls or something.
we have like 10 rolls for the two of us or whatever. I think that should be okay. I
Yeah.
think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Worst case, you hop in the shower. Just take a quick shower, and if you're stuck at home, right?
You better start scrubbing.
Did you see that meme where somebody
The shower head?
Yeah, they took the shower head and they duct taped it to the toilet and they made their homemade bidet.
Yeah, because they're backordered.
pretty funny.
It's on backorder right
Bidets?
now. Yeah.
Really? Oh my god.
The makeshift ones.
Yeah.
Not like the fancy Japanese built
High end.
Yeah.
The ones that like shoot a jet stream up your butt and then like
has a
wipe
blow
it
dryer.
for you. Blow dries it. Maybe gives you a little kiss on the cheek.
No, those are abundantly
Have a great
available.
Day. Little peck on the butt. Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are backwarders. So I think, you know what? Good for the guy for thinking of it. Or the girl.
Hey, they're making some money. Hey,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
thinking outside the box.
Yeah. So but I like to say that I am pretty tidy. I'm good at organizing things.
You are.
Okay.
You are.
Give me that at least.
You're very
right?
tidy.
I don't want people out there listening or watching this to be like,
Will's such a
geez, you
slob."
married like this freaking garbage monster or something, man. I'm pretty damn tidy. And even when I was living single, like I just like things in an order.
Yeah.
I mean, there will be times, I'm human, where things get out of mess. But then, you ever get to that point where things are so chaotic and you're trying to do work.
You can't even function anymore.
You can't even think because everything is so cluttered.
It's overwhelming.
That like I can't do anything effectively until I clean. I gotta clean. I gotta wipe some stuff down. I gotta organize it, put it in a place, and then feel like I have a nice clean desk. Now I can actually think and do some work.
Yeah.
So that doesn't happen too often where I let it get too bad, especially nowadays, because I get yelled at, folks, being married. It gets pointed out to me very gently by my beautiful wife over here. But yeah, so it was something that complemented those two qualities complemented each other, because I felt like I'm more tidy than you are.
You are.
Not to say that you're a complete slob.
Okay, let me give you an example of how tidy
geez.
Will is, okay?
This is like therapy for me right now, man. Like people listening are probably like, you guys, this is like marriage therapy.
You guys need help.
Yeah, seriously.
So in the old apartment, Will used to have one of those hanging organizers.
Yeah.
He would color coordinate, roll his socks up in these little bundles, like little swirly bundles, what I call them. He'll just roll the socks and color coordinate them, and he'll color coordinate
my
his
shirts too.
His ties.
Yeah, the ties and the shirts.
In the same color and patterns. It had this spinning.
Oh yeah, like a spinning tie rack.
Yeah, like a spinning tie racks. And I used to come over there and I would just get annoyed on how like organized it was. So I used to just start
Oh yeah.
changing the colors, like just
To mess with me.
just to
It was
mess with
so
you.
orderly that you were annoyed how orderly it was, so you had to make it disorderly just to piss me off and annoy me.
Yeah.
That's the stuff we
I
do
would
to each other. It's
rearrange
crazy.
his socks before I left the apartment and rearrange
See if I notice.
the ties. And then I would gather up all of my, because I use disposable contact lenses. So there's a lot of those little wrappers as you
Oh my
open
god!
them.
You leave them as like little Easter eggs all over the house.
So I would take them so I would have at least 6 for the 3 days that I was there, or more depending if I had to change them out. So 6 to 8 of those little shells, and I would go around the apartment, leaving a bunch of those little contact lens cases, and then I'll close up the closet so Will won't notice before I left.
And then, when you're gone,
The next morning when you're getting ready,
I text you like, "What the hell is this? Why are there random like contact lens cases, in my closet here next to my pillow?" Like, it was just ridiculous.
Yeah, and then Monday morning rolls around, you're like, "Wait, my beautiful organized socks and ties are no longer organized."
That would get quite annoying. And I knew you did it on purpose just to try to get a rise out of me. But that's marriage, folks. That's marriage.
Or when I helped you fold some of your clothes, I would put like mismatched socks together and roll them up.
See the crap I have to deal with, guys? I need some people out there to empathize with me, and I need more people on my side. Team Will. Because every time like people meet you or they hear about our story, like somehow even my own friends start turning against me. It's like, Team Linda. No, she's right. She's making total sense, dude. It's like, what? We've known each other for 20 years. Why the hell are you siding with her and not me? You're my boys,
It's because I'm so funny.
Oh, okay. Keep thinking that. And then what else? Yes, that's the other thing. When you move in with somebody and you're married, and it becomes like this war of territories around the house.
Oh yeah, it's like a real estate war initially.
What do you mean? Whatever do you mean?
I mean, I came into the apartment and I claimed.
Oh yeah, when this is a new apartment that we moved into.
Yeah, together. I just claimed the closet.
You went right for she went straight into the biggest room, which is where we sleep, because we have 2 bedrooms.
The master bedroom.
Yeah, and she immediately went into there's a walk-in closet, and you said, "So this is mine. I don't know what you're gonna do." And you're like pointing, and I was like, "Well, where am I supposed to put my stuff?" And we didn't see the other room yet. And then I remember you were like, "I don't know. You could just dump your clothes on the corner somewhere, I guess."
The floor. I'll buy you a little drawer.
You didn't even offer me a little drawer. I think you said put it in laundry baskets or something.
Probably. No,
Are you
my
freaking
ass.
kidding
Probably.
me?
That's true. You're right.
Dude, and keep in mind this walk-in closet. One, it's a walk-in closet, which means there's plenty of space for 2 people. But apparently, you have a lot of stuff, a lot of clothes. Before we did our purge.
Yeah, I purged.
You brought a bunch of stuff over when we moved in, and you filled that damn walk-in closet. And there's tons of shelves and areas to hang your clothes. And then I'm like, oh my God, you have a lot of clothes and shoes too. And then what was your response? It was, oh, this isn't everything. I still have stuff at home at my parents' house that I didn't even bring. This is probably maybe a fourth or a third. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like you're joking, right? But anyways, so you claimed that walk-in closet, and then thankfully the second room, there is a small closet. I mean, it's actually decent size. It's a decent size. And I'm like, all right, I'll just take this. This is enough for me. Yeah. Even if I used half of that closet, I'd be okay.
Yeah. And since I'm such a clean freak, I suggested that each of us have our own bathrooms.
Well, we're lucky because
We're
we do
lucky.
have a unit. Before, in our first apartment or my apartment, there was only one bathroom,
One bathroom.
one bedroom,
Yeah.
which is fine.
This
It's just one
this
person.
apartment was actually a gem. We were looking for a
Very,
long.
very lucky.
Yeah, very lucky to have 2 bathrooms in the apartment. Because,
2 bed, 2 bath.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to find in LA, or it could be very expensive. But we got lucky because the price of this apartment is equivalent to a lot of 2-bedroom, 1 bath
Yeah.
here in LA. So we got really lucky with that. But since we had the luxury of 2 bathrooms, I suggested that each of us claim one and stick to it. So that way we're not fighting on how the bathrooms are organized and cleaned. So I suggested we'll get the guest bathroom. And I get the one
You have
inside
your
the
own
master
private
bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And before this apartment, at the old apartment, when you would come over, even though you didn't move in with me or live there, dude, it felt like you did. You had your crap everywhere. Like, my sink was perfect. I had all my stuff. Then when I came back, I remember coming in one day to the bathroom and I'm like, what is all this stuff? You had your makeup stuff. Like, you put all my stuff, pushed it into a little corner, and then the rest of the sink was like filled with your stuff. The counter, at least.
But in all fairness, you started using some of the product.
And even my closet, I forgot about this. Even my closet, you started bringing clothes over.
Well, yeah, you didn't want to buy me a drawer. It's your fault. You're a bad host.
Oh, wow. So then there was more of your stuff in my own damn apartment than my own, But anyways, coming back to this apartment, I think having the separate bathroom was really nice.
Really nice.
Basically, I was banned. Get this, in my own damn apartment, I'm banned from using her bathroom. Period.
That's the way it should be.
I have to use the guest bathroom. The one that guests use.
So?
You don't find anything wrong with that?
No, it's bigger.
Even at night, because it's the bathroom that she has is in the same room that we sleep in. Even though it's only 1 foot away, she says, no, you can't go in there. Like, somehow you pop up in the middle of the night when I got to go to the bathroom. You got to go to the guest one. Got to walk outside. I mean, it's still not that far, but, That's annoying. So that's the bathroom situation. And then, of course, the bed. Fighting for real estate as a married couple in the bedroom is also difficult because I'm pretty sure other guys experience this too. When you're sleeping, we have a queen size bed, and I swear every night, somehow I end up on the edge of all, like, half my body's like over the edge of the bed, because you love like just coming over and like just squeezing, hugging me, and not giving me any damn room to move. I'm like, dude, this is a queen size bed. And I look over, there's like a whole horizon of, there's like a whole, I was like, dude, what? Why am I almost falling off this bed? And you're tiny too.
Yeah, I'm only like 5 feet tall.
5 feet tall.
Yeah. This little person.
I'm like, there's no way your ass is taking up
I'm
that
such
much
a
space.
crazy sleeper.
You are definitely a crazy
At least I
sleeper.
acknowledge that. Like, I just love to, and I don't even
You
realize
are mobile.
it.
You
Yeah,
move when you sleep.
I move, I roll, I kick. I don't know.
You definitely kick. I've gotten kicked a few times. I'm like sleeping peacefully and pristine, and then all of a sudden there's like a foot in my face. I'm like, what the hell? How did that happen? You know?
And I rotate like a clock.
Oh yeah, I called you diagonal girl before because somehow when you're sleeping, your body starts rotating like the handles of a clock.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, dude, like you would wake up and your feet are just like diagonally facing the other side of the wall, which I'm like, this is the first time I've ever seen somebody do this. Like,
Yeah.
you can't stay still.
But now I'm a little bit more mindful.
Are you though?
Sometimes when I want to be.
I'm still sleeping on the edge of the bed.
I would just get used to it.
Mm.
That's fine.
I'm like, I don't know what it's like to sleep on a queen size bed.
But anyway, let's move on from this topic.
Yeah, we could go all day on that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So how did we end up resolving the cleaning situation?
So then we talked about it first and foremost, what our pet peeves were, right? What bugged you. So as soon as I found out how much it bugged you, for example, the dishes, then I made sure, okay, well, if this bugs her, obviously I care about you, and therefore I'm going to work on it and try my best to change that habit. Instead of letting dishes pile up, I'm going to clean them right after I have a meal, and go from there. But I think what's frustrating, or what happened too, was, and I made an effort, and I always make an effort, because I care about you and I don't want you to be annoyed with me. So therefore I would work on this and I'd be good for like a week. And then I have one little slip up. Like I forgot to do the dishes, or I'm too tired, or I don't want to, or I want to wait until the next morning, and you would just get heated again. See, you never listened to me. Why did you let the dishes pile up? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, you have to realize, like, this is a habit. I'm not saying it's a good habit. I'm not trying to defend myself in that regard, but
You are trying to
I am trying to defend myself a little bit. You need to hear this perspective. But I was like, this is something that I've been doing for, I don't know, 4 years prior to living with you. And you can't expect me to all of a sudden just make this complete 180 shift to now be your version of what you expect. You have to give me a chance. I'm going to slip up. I'm going to mess up. I'm going to,
But I do.
After I pointed that out.
That's true. But
that's a good lesson, right?
Yeah. But with that said, I also realized that, since you and I, we work so much and we're very busy people, that it's okay to ask for help.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like we just couldn't do it all on our own and, just try to balance just life. It was just getting too much, like, working 10 hours.
And we don't even have kids.
No. Yeah. But, we talked about that. If we did have kids, then I would obviously work less.
Sure.
Right? I'm not going to work these long 10-hour shifts, extra weekends.
Yeah.
I would have to definitely cut down. But in the meantime, we realized that it's okay to ask for help, that we can't do everything on our own. So we actually hired a housekeeper to come help us every, 3 weeks or so. 3 or 4 weeks, 4 weeks at most, to come and just do a deep clean of the house. So she'll come in and clean for like 5 hours, deep clean everything. So that way, when she leaves, it's just little maintenances.
Yeah. It took a lot, because before that, we were cleaning every weekend, or like every 3 weeks, right, on our own.
Like
but
a
it
deep
would take,
clean.
Yeah, it would take a
long
lot of time.
And both of us.
Yeah, the both of us. So we would do the chores around the house. I don't think we would clean it as well as a professional.
No, definitely not.
But at the same time, by the time we were done, the weekend was over, and we're like, man, we feel exhausted, and here we go. We got to start the week again, back to this grind.
It's not like we don't clean in between. It's that deep clean.
Sure.
Like the scrubbing down the range, the scrubbing
oven,
the walls of the
crevices.
Yeah, it's just we couldn't do it on our own. So it was okay. It's I think it's one of the best things we've done for our relationships, and for all of you out there that's thinking of hiring help, try it.
It's not even that expensive.
No, even once in a while, it helps so much. Schedule it when you're the busiest.
Yeah,
just to get that little bit of help is so helpful, because it gives you that time to kind of rejuvenate yourself.
Recharge mentally.
Yeah.
And, because if you're working, you're gonna need to recharge those batteries. And if you're working during the weekdays and then at home you're doing the housework on top of that, it's very, very difficult. So I have a lot of respect and props for people out there that are doing it like that. And we were too for a little while.
Yeah.
And people that maybe have kids, even more responsibilities, and they're trying to carry all this on their own, but not realizing, hey, you know what? Spending some money, even if it's $100-something,
I think it's like for us, it's $140.
$140 a month. you could save towards that. But that 140 is worth so much more than the 140 itself.
And even if you can't afford it every month, I think it's a nice gift to receive. So if you were to buy your significant other a gift, right, that could be one of the gifts.
And maybe you don't do it every 3 weeks, every month. Maybe you do it every 2 months, every
quarter,
3 months, right?
Whatever, something. Just
start.
Just to start.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be a goal to work towards, to have it done more frequently.
It's something you can budget for.
Yeah, because at first we started with every 2 months, right? And then we started budgeting for every month. Yeah. And then now it's every 3 weeks.
Yeah. And the thing is, I want people to realize, like, even I had like issues of like, why would we pay somebody to do this? We could do it ourselves, and that mentality, right? Like, let me just do it myself. Why should I have to pay somebody to do this for me? And then I felt like guilty, right? Like, oh, I'm just being lazy. I'm just being, a little brat, a privileged complainer, whiner, right? Like, why, because our parents always teach us, like, if you want something done right, do it yourself, right?
Yeah.
Or, that mentality. And yeah, that's true to an extent, but take advantage of the resources that you have and be smart about your time, because that's the most valuable thing.
Yeah. And you can spin it and look at it like you're helping somebody else.
Absolutely.
Right? You're helping somebody else's family by providing a job
for that person.
And treat them well. Thank them.
Yeah. It's a mutual exchange of value,
Yeah. And I think the fact that we were able to free up some of those cleaning time and stressing about how the house is not extremely clean, it helps with structuring our time together. Because that was one of the things we were struggling with in the beginning of our relationship, was that both of us were so busy and our schedule was so different.
Right.
And we didn't spend a lot of quality time together. We would come home. I would come home, eat dinner with you.
It was pretty late usually too.
Yeah. We'll eat dinner together, and then I would feel tired. And then I would go into the bedroom, YouTube, and you would go into your room, your office, and play games. And that's how we kind of ended the night.
Or Netflix or something.
Or Netflix.
We would have our own ways of decompressing.
Yeah. Which wasn't the healthiest, because it became a routine, but a routine of us not spending time together.
Because we were simply exhausted from the day. And it wasn't that we purposely didn't want to spend time with each other. It was just our way of decompressing, kind of relieving some stress and just wanting some alone time, because both of us were in professions where we're very social during the day. You're talking to patients, right? And coworkers and everybody. I'm talking to clients or out there meeting people. And it's like, you get tired and you're going to be exhausted and you don't want to talk to the person, even if it's your spouse, when you get home. Sometimes you just don't feel like it, Yeah. You want to just turn off your brain for a couple of hours. And unfortunately, though, that's usually late in the evening. And when we're winding down already, it's like we didn't have that time. You're right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it was good that we recognized that. So by having that extra help, it definitely freed up on the weekend time for us to make up what we missed during the week.
Yeah. And I think that's an important point is that you should structure kind of like a schedule with each other. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it should be somewhat structured. For example, having meals together. That was
huge.
That was important to us, right? That's a time to connect and talk to each other about how your day went.
Phones off.
Yeah, phones off. Yeah. Be present. Talk to each other about how the day went. What went right, what went wrong.
Just having somebody to hear you, or talk with.
Yeah. And then
connect.
Yeah. And then kind of divide the chores a little bit. The household chores.
Sure.
So I enjoy cooking the most out of between
you hate doing dishes. Let's put it that way.
Between us, but I hate doing dishes, especially bottles and cups. I don't know, something about them. I just get annoyed washing them.
Yeah.
But I don't mind washing bowls and spoons and all the other stuff. So it's kind of weird, but
Yeah, you're a very weird
yeah,
person.
it's called selective dishwashing, I guess. So we delegated that task to you. So you're responsible for doing the dishes, and I'm responsible for prepping the meals and cooking.
Yeah. You make the mess, I clean the mess.
Yeah, but in all fairness, I do help
You do
clean in between.
A little bit,
so that
yeah.
way, the only real dishes you're doing is, all the ones we use after I cook.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, the pots and pans and stuff.
Yeah, I don't do pots and pans because the soup pot that we have, it's like bigger than me. I literally fit inside this pot.
It's a pho pot. It's
Yeah.
it's a giant stock pot. That's why.
Yeah.
So it's pretty heavy too.
It's very heavy, and my short arms can't reach down there.
Yeah. So I've gotten really freaking good at doing dishes since being married. I'm a master dishwasher now. We even have an automatic dishwasher, which we rarely use.
It just uses so much water.
It uses a lot of water, and it takes a long time to finish cleaning. And, it's not going to clean it as well as if you do it by hand.
Yeah, and I'm not sure why. It takes like 3-4 hours to run. I don't know.
No, does it?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
It really does.
Oh,
Have you
wow.
timed that thing?
Maybe it's the cycle that we have it on. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know how to work that fancy machine.
Maybe it's malfunctioned. Who knows?
Maybe. Yeah, and then it leaves these like watermark.
Okay.
Anyway, so getting sidetracked. Yeah, and I think you have to kind of schedule quality time together, right? Whether it's a fun hangout, dinner, like
Dates.
date nights, dinners, time with family.
Yeah.
So
And when you're married, you have to consider both sides of the family too.
yeah. So how we structure it is Will comes over to my parents' house to have lunch every other weekend, because it's important for us to strengthen the relationships with each other's family as well.
Of course.
But the only we're not perfect. We're still working on holidays.
Yes.
I think that's a big one.
Yes.
We're still kind of figuring out what to do on holidays.
Yeah, our first holiday as a married couple this last year. It was a little, I don't know, challenging.
Yeah.
Because we have to, both sides of families do stuff together or do things separately. And some holidays I think are more important to your family.
Yeah.
Religious holidays like Christmas, right? Versus mine. And then for my family, my mom and my dad, they place a bigger importance on a holiday like Chinese New Year's, for example, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's just figuring out how we get that balance, because trying to do all the events at this, trying to go to your side's family stuff and then my side's family stuff, it's hard. There's no way. Like, it's not practical to do that every year, you know?
Let us know. How do you guys divide your holidays? We want some inputs.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I know my younger sister, Connie, she and her husband, Noel, they do a pretty good job of, rotating. So they do like this year it's going to be with this side of the family. Next year it will be your side of the family, right? It's a work in progress too. It's not a perfect system.
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing is, I think what's been helpful for our relationship is to do joint activities or ventures together.
Sure, absolutely.
To help us grow as people. So we picked up podcasting.
We've been having a blast with this, by the way.
We've been having a blast.
And we told ourselves that, we're not expecting, anything bigger. Like, we set our goals coming in. We knew, what does success mean to us when we're doing this podcast? And it was having fun. Yeah. Right. Number one, first and foremost, we have to have fun. If it's not fun for us, we're not going to spend time and effort to do this.
Yeah.
The second thing was that we wanted to make sure that we had something to do together and consistently. So it's just building up those muscles of life, where if you say you're going to do something, making sure that you are consistent and following through with what you say, keeping your word. So I
Yeah.
feel like we committed to a certain number of episodes for the year, and we're on track. We're going to do
We're
it.
on track.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we've been doing it every week, basically, recording and producing some of these episodes. But I think that's a good practice just in life in general for anything, right? And then I think the last thing was we wanted to bring value with what we're sharing, because we're not perfect. We're not experts. We're not out here
No.
trying to say, hey, we know everything. We definitely don't.
We
There's a lot
definitely
we don't know.
don't. And we're
But
learning as we're
yeah,
going. And, we hope that through our
yep.
experience, through that, someone can get some value from
Someone
it.
can learn from our mistakes. Someone can take what we have learned or what we do know
Yeah.
that's worked for us and maybe incorporate it into your life. And if it works for you, that's awesome,
Yeah. And we're hoping as well that we're going to be able to learn from some of our
That's
audiences
the other
as
thing.
well.
Yeah.
As well, if we share our struggles and frustrations, or things that didn't work out for us, maybe someone out there is in the same boat as
Try
us.
this.
Try this. Or, hey, I noticed you're doing that, but you can improve on it.
Yeah.
We would love to hear stuff like that.
We want feedback.
We want feedback.
Ideas to be shared, because that's how you grow as a person. The moment I think someone thinks that they know everything, or that other people's opinions aren't valid anymore, that's when you stop growing. And that's very, very costly, very dangerous to think that way.
Yeah, and that's why it's important to us that we build this very positive community.
Absolutely.
Right.
Like-minded people.
Yeah.
We're all going through life, right? And we all just deal with issues and problems, roadblocks and challenges. But it's kind of cool if someone has already been through something, and now they can share with other people how to navigate through that as well, or avoid certain pitfalls or mistakes that they made that can save somebody years, of recovery or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
A lot of time and money or heartache,
Yeah.
so nothing bad comes from that.
Definitely.
Yeah. I think the other thing, having been married over the last year, and we haven't been married that long, but
No.
we've been together for
a while.
over a decade now.
Yeah.
And what we found through our relationship is just how important it is to really have that clear communication, that transparency. Just like any relationship, even if it's not a romantic relationship with friends or family, if there's something on your mind, you have to realize somebody else that you're getting frustrated about or annoyed about, they can't fix that behavior if they don't even know about what they're doing that's ticking you off, know? So you have to if you want them to change, you need to let them know.
Yeah. And I think it's important that you voice your frustration as you feel them.
Absolutely. Don't let it pent up.
Yeah. Don't let it brew to something bigger than it is.
Yes.
Right. And then and just explode. Yeah. Just if you're frustrated about something and it comes up to your mind, let the person know immediately. So that
and do it in a tasteful way, please.
Of course. Yeah, be nice about it, right? Because at the end of the day, just keep in mind, you and your partner, you guys are one unit. You're a team.
Yeah.
And I think that was hard for us because you and I, we are such independent people, and we were a little bit of control freaks and wanting to do
just
everything.
a little bit.
Yeah, wanting to do everything ourselves. That we didn't ask the other person to help, thinking we could do it all ourselves. But the beauty of being in a relationship or being married is that you have somebody else to rely on and help you, and that's okay.
Right. Learning to let go of some of that control. Because when you're independent, you almost feel like, well, if I rely on this other person, it's taking away from my independence. When in reality, that's not what it is.
Yeah.
Any successful person, whatever success means to you, anybody that's reached any level of financial success or, fulfillment in life, I think nobody gets there alone.
No.
We have family, we have friends, we have our networks, right? We have people out there that do want to help. You just have to be willing to take to be open to the idea of getting help.
Yeah.
Whatever form that means or takes.
Yeah. And with the frustration thing goes to,
Yeah.
just communicate all of your frustrations. And another thing that's helped us is that we don't go to bed angry.
That's huge.
That's huge. So whatever we were upset about or frustrated about stays the day before, right? We never bring it on to the new day.
You don't hold a grudge.
No.
We usually try to resolve it,
Yeah.
It doesn't mean like if you get into an argument or a disagreement that let me try to fix this right now when we're all emotionally charged, because that might piss you off even more, because I was doing that before. I'm like, we're arguing about something. I want to resolve it now. I want to find how do we, let's talk about
now.
this. Let's talk about this. I think guys tend to want to like try to fix it right then and there, but then, and that's what annoyed me. You were like, nope, I need to go cool off. And you were very calm about it. I don't know how you maintained it. You would be very careful about not saying something.
See, because I'm not a screaming type of person.
Neither am I.
And I'm not. Yeah,
we've never screamed at each other.
Yeah, and I don't like to try to resolve conflict when I'm emotionally charged, because I feel like it's kind of dangerous, because I might say something that I don't mean,
right?
And I don't want to add more fuel to the fire. Yeah. Whereas if I cool off, I'm more level-headed, and then take a step back, I might realize, hey, the situation is not as, big as it really is. It's, it could be easily resolved.
Sure. Or it could be a misunderstanding, or we're saying the same thing, but we're communicating in a different way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think sometimes that's important when you feel like you're in that heat of the moment and your emotions are running hot.
Yeah.
The best thing maybe at that point is, look, we don't have to solve this right now. Why don't we go for a walk or go watch some Netflix or cool off, basically, right? For a couple of hours or whatever time you need. And let's come back and let's try to figure this out. Let's talk in a civil way. It's not easy to do. I get that.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of practice, and it takes a lot of, I think, patience and understanding on both sides.
Definitely.
Because there were definitely some times where in the past I would be it would annoy me, and I would get very bothered by not having resolved that problem at that moment, because I'm very like proactive. Like if there's some sort of conflict or something I don't like, I need to speak about it, and then I want to try to fix it right then and there.
Yeah.
Because then I wasn't comfortable with you. Oh, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to ignore you for like 3-4 hours, do my own thing, pout. And you would pout. Yeah. And then I would come back, and then I think that's the other thing, the other lesson, right? Is especially when you have two people that are very strong in their opinions.
We definitely are.
Very opinionated or very headstrong.
Yeah.
And not willing to back down. It's very hard to find peace, right? So what I've learned is, whether you're right or wrong in your mind, usually we're always right? We think we're right. But let's say you're very strong in your belief. You're not going to change the other person's opinion. They think they're right. You think you're right.
Yeah.
But for the sake of the relationship and the marriage, right? Isn't it better to just, okay, if I back down or if I call a truce over, you didn't clean this, or you didn't put the toilet seat down.
Most of the time it's over something silly. Yeah.
But it blows up into this big thing. But let's say the toilet seat situation, which is the most common thing that people talk about, right? Like, oh, you didn't put the toilet seat down, for guys. Then it's like, is it really worth us attacking each other, having all these negative emotions, getting into a huge fight over something so small? Or is it better to just, call a truce and be the person to, I don't know, I wouldn't say you have to feel like you're apologizing if you don't feel sorry, but like just saying, you know what, look, we're not going to agree on this, but I value the relationship more than winning this argument right now.
And I think at the end of the day, you have to remind yourself that you both are working as one unit, right?
You're in the same team.
Yeah, you're on the same team. And things don't have to be so rigid. If you see your partner struggling And even if his duty is to wash dishes, but you know he had a long day or an extra long day, help them out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of times too where, you're the one that typically cooks the meals because you're the better cook. And you prefer doing that, where you come home pretty late, from work, whether it's 10 or 11 at night.
Yeah.
And what am I going to do? Like, just sit there and wait until you get home and then cook?
Yeah. That doesn't make any sense.
Obviously, being on the same team, being my partner, being hungry, just go cook, right? Go do the chore that typically the other person is taking care of. That's what having a partner or in life means, right? Or even friends or family. That's what they're there for, is to support you when you can't do something yourself or you need help.
Yeah. And just to make life a little easier for each other. Right?
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're there to back each other up. You're there for each other. You have each other's back. And that's what it's all about. It's a partnership. Treat it like a partnership.
Yeah.
Even though it took a little bit for us, like you said earlier, that to be able to even open up that trust and to give a little bit of that control up and be okay with, it's not weakness, it's strength. It takes more strength to ask for help and to be able to reach out, to have someone help you than to try to do everything, put it all on your back,
Yeah.
It takes courage to ask for help,
It really does.
But that's something we learned.
Yeah.
Any closing remarks? Any other final things that you feel kind of stuck out to you through this 1-year journey so far? A beautiful journey it has been.
I think just to have fun in the relationship. Right? Enjoy each other. Just have fun and go on this journey together and just learn and grow and just discover the world as you both age together. And that's it. Just have fun.
Have fun. I like that.
Yeah.
Smell the roses. What are you laughing at?
Nothing.
Yeah, I think it's for me. My last thought would be just that kind of closing on the note of compromise. Reaching a middle ground, understanding that you're gonna have your opinion, I'm gonna have my opinion. We're not gonna always see eye to eye on stuff, but we will always respect each other, and we're never going to take things and attack each other personally. Like, I'll never call you a name. You hopefully won't ever do that to me, right? Even when we're getting super emotional, again, not easy to do.
Yeah.
But being able to show respect even in those situations, that's what's going to help you get through the really tough times, Again, we're not perfect. We have disagreements all the damn time.
Yeah.
We get frustrated with each other. We get annoyed with each other. But you make it work because there's clear communication, right? And as cliche as that is, that's the glue, right? That's the thing that keeps you together.
Yeah.
Cool. And then so just for you guys listening and watching out there, same, right? Tell us how your first year of marriage is going. What are some trials, tribulations, stories that you guys have for us? We'd love to hear them. That would be awesome. Pet peeves would be great. I would love to hear about pet peeves. And then hopefully after this episode, I gained some followers on my side. Team Will. I need some. We're kind of lacking here. People hopefully can empathize with my struggles in this relationship, what I have to put up with all the time.
It's okay. You can have them for now. Just wait until as we go through other podcasts and I start reviewing some of the things you've done to me.
Whoa. All right then. and with that, we're going to end this episode. So remember to remember.
You always come up with these weird accents out of nowhere.
Remember to follow us on social media. So our Instagram, Magnetic Mismatch. If you're watching this on YouTube, to like and subscribe to our channel.
And ring the bell notification.
Ring the bell for notifications so that you know when we have new episodes, and you'll be the first to watch. First, people like to type that in the comment first. And then, of course, because this is a podcast, first and foremost,
Yeah.
make sure to download our episodes on iTunes, Stitcher, and all the other platforms for podcasts nowadays.
We'll link the information below.
Yeah, and give us a 5-star review if you enjoy the content. We want you to be honest too. If it sucks, I'll understand.
Let us know.
Let us know, and then
We're
we can
here
work.
to improve.
Let us know, and then Linda can improve and work on how we can get back to those 5 stars.
Bye.
Okay, guys. Bye. See you
Take
later.
care.